runners today. We were going to be calling each of your names across this finish line. We're going to be seeing you guys coming across smiling. Looking cute in the black right now with a little yellow bow. Yes, you do. And your wrists flash red, don't they? Oh, that's unique. That's your boyfriend, isn't it? Husband? He's a very big man. I'm just speaking from afar. Just from a distance. Nice colors though, cute. Keeper, she's good. Probably got a lot of stories to tell too. We have 1 minute and 15 seconds to go to get the official word to start this race. We're going to be looking for the official word from the police to give us the go-ahead.
Okay, am I at the start of the marathon?
All right, we just got the word.
At the start of the marathon?
40 seconds to go. First timers, hands in the air. Somebody next to them. Congratulate them about what they are about to do. We're going to see each and every one of you at the finish line of the third annual Pasadena 2011 Marathon and Half Marathon. You guys are going to have a great time out here. You're going to be smiling when you come across that line. We know that. We have 15 seconds to go. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great one. All right, guys. Smile. We're going to see you at the finish line. First time you're seeing you do an amazing job. Today you're going to change that life resume. That's it. Smiling faces. Big smiling faces. In the peak of the hood, you can see you in the glasses. You're not smiling. Excellent. Sunglasses on a cloudy day. Your choice, that's okay. Over 8,000 from your longest course today. Have a great time in the blue. How you doing?
Well, Anthony, what do you think of that? Look at all of those runners in the streets of Pasadena.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there.
I know, I didn't expect that.
You know what? I really like that interview that we had with the woman who had the aneurysm, because everybody who's running that race today had to spend months preparing, getting ready for something like this. So to be in such good physical condition after suffering a potentially life-threatening incident, it's amazing that she's out there.
Well, and in fact, you know, I'm sure we could, you know, talk to majority of those runners out there, and they all have a story, something that is driving them. There's got to be something to make someone want to run those many miles, right? I'm not one to sign up for the marathon. I'm going to be sitting at this desk, I think. But, you know, I know everyone has a story to tell, and that's the amazing thing about a marathon like this.
Yeah. I have some friends that are running in the race. I want to give a little shout out to Christine and Dave. Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are having a good morning.
Hello.
Not that they can hear me because they're running, but I just wanted to wish them.
They feel the love.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is a really good bonding experience for a lot of people, because you have the Pasadena Pacers, you have the Flyers, all the different groups of people who've been training together as well. So I think it's a really great bonding and a community experience for people as well to be part of this race.
Absolutely. In fact, we'll have a little bit later in the hour when, with the start of the 5K, there's this group called Girls on the Run, and they have a national chapter, Girls on the Run LA. They have over 600 girls running in the Pasadena 5K.
Wow.
And it's all a group that helps promote empowerment and, you know, self-esteem in girls through running 5K races, which is just a unique concept, you know?
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, there's so many different, there's nonprofits involved, there's volunteers who have stories as to why they're being a part of this, and I know, you know, there's different nonprofit organizations. A friend of mine works for World Vision. I don't know if they have a team for the Pasadena Marathon, but what he does is he organizes groups of people to run marathons to raise money for World Vision.
Oh, that's cool.
And I know the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society has team in training. And so, there's just a lot of people with stories and just a reason that is driving them to run. So we can't wait to hear from more. In fact, Natalie Tavidian has someone that she wants to introduce to us. Are you there, Natalie? Well, she is there. Natalie, we're ready to hear from you whenever you're ready.
Come down with me. All right. So
Natalie, can you hear us? What was it like seeing the start of the race?
Hi, Natalie. How was the start of the race?
Sanita, we just saw the marathon take off right behind us. The rain, we thought the drizzle was going to calm down a little bit, but it looks like it's pouring today. I'm here with Inez Holiday. Inez, you're doing the 5K today?
Yes, I am. My first one.
This is your first one. How has practice been?
Pardon me?
How has it been practicing for it?
Oh, fine. Yeah, I love walking.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How often are you out practicing?
Well, I go to the gym 3 times a week, and then in between, I walk in the neighborhood.
Are you here supporting anybody else?
I'm here supporting Judy Regan and Dr. Denham.
Oh, nice. So how do you know them?
Well, Dr. Denham is my physician, and Judy Regan has been a long-time friend.
Okay, well, we hope that you keep warm today. How are you feeling about this rain?
Oh, I don't care. It's going...
It doesn't make a difference?
No, it's a nice drizzle. It's going to clear up.
All right, so we wish you the best of luck today. Thank you for speaking with us. Sunita, back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that report, Natalie, and it is great to see all of the different people that are supporting each other in this marathon and cheering each other on. So, Anthony, you have friends that are running this. Why are they running?
Well, one of my friends is really active in one of the groups. She goes running all the time, and it was just one of those things that they thought it's so important to bring a marathon to Pasadena. So that's why they're part of it. They just love being able to share in this community. And Pasadena is so beautiful. It's a great place to have a marathon because you have the history of the buildings that have been here for some of them 100 years. You have the gorgeous mountains, and the weather is actually perfect right now for running too.
Absolutely, and that's the fun thing about seeing this marathon from the very beginning. In November, I think 2008 was it, when they were ready to go. They were hours from starting the marathon, and then unfortunately with the fires, they had to cancel the whole thing. And it took a lot of courage for them to cancel at that last minute when they were, had so much planning that went into that. And then they rebooked it for February, and then it rained. Yes, you were out there.
I was out there. That's why I'm glad to be here with you today because
yeah.
I'm nice and dry.
Absolutely, but there's so much dedication that is involved in putting on this marathon, and it's been fun to see it grow and change. And hopefully that they'll stick with me, and we'll have a sunny day one of these days.
Oh, and you know what? And CCN's been an important part of covering the marathon. I don't know if you. Oh, well, CCN's been part of it, and you've been getting ready for the coverage of the marathon. How's that been for you?
Well, I have basically just made myself, sat right in with the Pasadena Forward group. I've been emailing and talking to Israel and Lee Minot over there at Pasadena Forward, and just, trying to find out what are the stories and people that are contacting them, because they're hearing from them all the time, but then sometimes they don't have an outlet to say, hey, there's this great person who's running this marathon. We want to let other people know. But, we have... You might not recognize him from the NBC reality hit show. Do you watch Biggest Loser?
No, I don't.
I don't
But it's
either.
a hit. A lot of people do watch that show.
It is a hit, and it's things like that.
Oh, is he involved in the marathon?
Absolutely.
Oh, cool.
In fact, he was just eliminated, unfortunately. One of the contestants is Austin Andrews. He's 21-year-old resident of Pasadena. He lost more than 120 pounds. Wow. On the show, but unfortunately that wasn't enough to keep him from being eliminated. So about a week ago he was eliminated, and Austin didn't didn't just lose weight for the show. He's running in one of the marathon events as part of his journey towards a healthier lifestyle. CCN's Tammy Devine caught up with Austin earlier in the week.
I am here at Breakthrough Fitness with Austin Andrews, one of the stars of this season's The Biggest Loser. Thanks so much for being with us, Austin.
Not a problem at all.
Okay, so I'm looking at you right now, and you look great.
Thank you.
But it wasn't always that way. How did you start out weight-wise?
I actually started the show at 396 pounds, and I was, kind of to give you a description, it would be like in 5X clothing. I now wear large.
Wow.
So the change is dramatic. I walked in with a waist of 56. I'm now in a waist of 36. And so you're recognizing I'm literally almost half the man that I was.
Yeah, in a good way. Huh?
In a good way.
How did you get to 396 pounds?
For me, it really came down to I quit caring. I stopped loving. I stopped really liking who I was and caring about what I was, and you know, I know everyone talks about childhood being, you know, pivotal times, especially like 4th, 5th, 6th grade, and I was a chubby kid going into 4th grade, and I was made fun of a lot, and I just let that become the definition of who I was, and my value and my worth, or the lack thereof, was what I just got instilled with by other students, and I just ate my way to 400 pounds.
Kids can be cruel, can't they?
They can be, but you know what? Kids are kids, and usually the cruelty is actually out of their own insecurities, the same way the eating was out of mine. Yeah. And so it's that recognition that, you know, it's a vicious cycle that, you know, it's a terrible cycle.
Yeah. I found it so interesting that when I asked the question, how did you get to 396 pounds, almost 400 pounds, that the answer was not psychological.
Yeah.
And that's where I think a lot of that lies for people with weight issues. Do you think?
Absolutely, and I feel like that's part of the journey of being on the Biggest Loser is you get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm losing weight, but really my focus here is on something much more deep than the fat on my skin.
Yeah. So when did you get to a point, what was it that got you to a point of, man, I got to do something about this?
There were a couple things that happened where I realized, okay, changes have to be made. A lot of it was in our family. My dad actually almost passed away. He became septic from an infection that they could only blame on his weight. And so he became septic, almost didn't make it to the hospital. And I just remember that car ride of, you know, is my dad going to be driving back with us in the front seat or in a body bag? And it's that recognition that, okay, we've got to make some changes. Right after that experience, my dad's health started to fail in other ways. Became diabetic. His blood pressure went through the roof. And we as a family decided okay, we need to search for help, and started searching and found The Biggest Loser, and you know, they accepted us into that family, and then really helped us make the changes. All
right, so describe to me the pain, because I mean, I can feel it through the screen. Every episode of The Biggest Loser that I've ever watched, I can feel the people's pain through the screen. How painful was it? And you know, you must have thought about giving up at times.
Oh, absolutely. There are moments where you're faced with that decision of, am I going to get back up, or am I just going to lay here? Because laying here sounds real good right now. Yeah. And you just have to find it in yourself and have to find that motivation that something else is going on. And this is not about weight. Again, this is about us being who we are, and that being not just good enough, but that being worthwhile. And when you find that, it's like, okay, I'm going to get up every time.
Very good. Now, your trainer was?
Our trainers were Brett and Kara for the season, and they were the new trainers on season 11, and they had just a crazy introduction to The Biggest Loser house. It was a good way to, you know, it was good to have new people in the house training, because their styles were so much different. And
how crazy? What are you talking about when you say crazy?
they came in and they came at it from a martial arts standpoint and not necessarily like the traditional get in the gym, let's do leg lifts, or a bench press. And so it was just very refreshing to have trainers that went at it from a fighter's mentality, went at it from that kind of let's see what limits we can push this way, and I actually fell in love with the fighting, and that's how I'm training at home, and is that Thai kickboxing, that Muay Thai, and that's what I found that I love, and so much of being fit, being healthy is finding the things that you love and sticking to them. If you don't like working out, if you can't enjoy any part of the working out, it's hard to stick with it for a long time.
Yeah. So now there's some. I don't know. It's not like Survivor where it's kind of cutthroat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. But there's still some strategy and tactics I think that you have to use in order to remain on the show. How have you implemented those, and what have you done to remain on the show?
To stick it out as long as I did, it was really being focused on making sure that you were well hydrated the whole time. And that you were counting all the calories that you were eating. One of the things I found before the show is I never thought to even count like what I was drinking. When you have that coffee and you put in the whole milk, those are calories. Yeah. When you add that oil to the thing of vegetables, it's like that counts. And so you have to count those calories. And so when I became aware of that, it just made more sense to be able to count so much of it was counting my calories and staying hydrated. Was
there ever any time that you went up and you were like, oh my gosh, or did you see teammates do that?
Yeah, definitely saw specifically one teammate who had a very rickety weight loss for several weeks, and the truth is, some people, when you have water fluctuation, which is part of weight loss, that's why you don't get on a scale every day, is because one day you're going to be down 4, the next day you're going to be up 5, and it doesn't make necessarily sense. We've seen people do it on the show, and it's hard. It's a hard moment. It doesn't make sense sometimes, but it's also recognizing, okay, that's part of weight loss, and you just have to keep trudging through, because you're going to get to a point where you get to your goal weight. You will.
Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here in a minute, but I want you to think about one thing. I won't put you on the spot. I'll give you a little bit of time to think about it, okay? I want you to tell me one thing that we might not necessarily have seen on the show that you think people would be interested in. If you have it right now, you can tell me, but I'll ask another question if you want to think about it for a minute.
Yeah, I'll need to think about it.
Okay. Because, I just love that little nugget of information that maybe we wouldn't necessarily see on the show.
Sure.
Nothing that would get you in trouble, of course. But
Sure.
Okay, so has your family seen you now?
Yes.
And what is the reaction at home?
The reaction from the family has been intense, and I would say that it's just overwhelming how much change has happened, and how different I look, but also how different I act. So much of the transformation for me was kind of that coming of manhood a little bit, and I really became more confident. I became much more willing to be me, and kind of letting that be the, letting.
Yeah, because you have a lot of life ahead of you. You're 21 years old. Yeah. My goodness. I mean, you're so articulate, and you're, not that you wouldn't be, but you know what I'm trying to say. You just seem like a grown-up to me.
Sure.
But what do you think other people will get out of watching your experience on The Biggest Loser? What would you like them to get?
I really would push for people to get that it's a change that's possible to be made. I believe for so long that I could never get this, this would never be my life, that I wouldn't wake up and run for 45 minutes to an hour every day. Wow. Because that's the recognition I had to come to, is that can be my life, and that will be my life from now on. It's possible for every single one of us. So that's what I want people to take away.
Okay, so that last nugget of information.
Well, that was a great interview that Tammy did with Austin Andrews. Well, the live shots that you were seeing the bikers that are making their way into Northwest Pasadena. And the bikers started off early this morning, hitting the pavement before we even started the newscast. It's been about an hour or so, about halfway point for some of the top finishers. Let's check in with CCN's Luna Petty in Northwest Pasadena near mile 14 to see if there's any sign of bikers, as we did see actually. Hi, Luna.
Hi, I'm here with Karen Lee of the Pasadena Pacers. It's working one of the water stations here at mile 14. Karen, how many Pacers are there in the race today?
Approximately 30 to 40 Pacers are running in the Pasadena Marathon today.
Okay. And the Pacers are manning booths throughout the Pasadena Marathon. Why did the Pacers volunteer to man booths this year?
It's our idea of paying it forward. Runners support runners. We had runners supporting us when we ran the LA Marathon in conditions very much like this. So we want to make sure there's a smiling face, an encouraging hand, and a cup of water waiting for you.
And we've seen quite a few bikers come through here already. Some of them are already walking up this treacherous hill through here. And do we have bikers from the Pasadena Pacers in the marathon?
Yes, we actually have some bikers in the race today. Namely, Dr. Smith, our founding father of the Pasadena Pacer. His wife Robin is in the bike race today.
And the racers are out here come rain or shine, and it certainly is raining on us today. What are some of the tips that racers have to use when performing in the rain?
Actually be cognizant of how they're feeling. You could very easily have hypothermia if you're not walking out. If you're well trained, you can keep going to a destination, but always listen to your body. The other thing is, kind of tough it out when you're get your shoes wet, and it always helps to have a hat on, but listen to your body. If something's not right, come over to a water station or aid station and just ask for help.
And Karen and I spoke earlier today. She's a Pasadena native. What marathon have you ran in lately?
I did the 2011 LA Marathon.
Okay. And what stopped you from participating in this marathon?
I had some tendonitis issues, and so I just needed a little bit of break. Dr. Smith, our club founder, he's a practicing chiropractor here in Pasadena. He looked me over and said, "The running season is over. Just take a break for a while, and then when you're ready, come back and take it up." The great thing about the Pasadena Pacers is that we're a free, no dues club, and what ties us all together is our camaraderie over the love of running.
That's great. And the Pasadena Pacers are here to support their own, and they're here to support the other racers. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that, Luna. That was great. A big part of staying in shape for a marathon is making sure you have proper nutrition. And Sue Clark with Juice Plus Pasadena is here to tell us how race participants can get extra energy from eating and drinking right. Thanks for being here, Sue.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Well, so what kinds of foods and drinks should these runners be having?
Well, I think a big part of running and any kind of physical exercise is that a lot of people think that you do all these months of training, but yet people don't realize that it's actually what you intake in terms of nutrition that also has such a huge part of your optimal health for having peak performance. So I would say that fruits and vegetables are such a primary part of what you want to eat. You want to definitely eat whole grain foods, but a lot of times what people realize is that they want quick energy, they want complex carbohydrates, but they want to find it from real whole foods. And that's really what we really love to stress, is that that is the most important thing, whole foods.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times with these races you hear maybe the night before people are carb loading,
yes, yes.
You know, that whole thing. But so you're basically saying no, they need to throughout their whole training be eating right.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the night before.
No, and I think that's what's interesting is that everyone trains so hard for this one big race, whether you're doing the full marathon, the half marathon, the 10K, the 5K, and we saw so many during the last 2 days at the Pasadena Expo for the Health and Fitness Expo, and we talked to thousands of people. And it's interesting because people really love to buy all these kind of products, but we tell them, you're live people, you should be eating live food. You want to have optimal health all the time. It's not just one day race. So you want to be eating legumes and beans and whole foods, fruits, vegetables. You really want to stay in that category to make your whole family healthy all the time, to have optimal health so that you'll be fit all the time.
And Sue, if you're getting ready for a race like this, about how long does that take? I hear like 6 weeks is a right amount of time, or maybe a month. If we were getting ready for next year's race, when should we start preparing?
Well, I think that one thing that's really important is that being fit or having exercise in your body is not something that you just do just all suddenly. You decide that you want to be fit, and so there's different trainers and different coaches out there that will give you different answers. But I really think, again, it's really, when you go on a journey, you really want to think about what are you eating nutritionally to really make sure that you're getting the energy that you need, the complex carbohydrates that you need from real foods, and then you can do any kind of form of exercise. But in terms of training, I know that there are specific trainers